Welcome to Magic Loops Docs, teaching you how to get the most out of Magic Loops. In this video, we'll go over how to create manual loops. First, let's define what a manual loop is. Manual loops are automations you create by specifying what blocks or subtasks you need to accomplish your automation. This is opposed to the loop creator, where you create a magic loop by writing a prompt, and then AI deduces what blocks you will need to achieve the task. To make a manual loop, from the dashboard, go to the left-hand panel, find the plus icon, and go down and click on Manual Loop. To begin, we can add a title. We're going to create a daily language quiz. In the next section here, we can add variables. Let's go ahead and create two variables. The first one is going to be language, and we're going to set that as Spanish. We're going to create another one that's called difficulty, and we're going to set it at beginner. So a little bit more about variables. Variables essentially allow you to have more customizable loops and make them more adaptable. So later I'm going to use these variables, the $ language and $ difficulty in all capital letters, to reference the values. So this is the name, and this is the value it stores. So let's continue on here, and we're going to go ahead and add a trigger, which is a way for the automation to know when to begin. So I'm going to choose a time trigger, and you'll notice this box pops up here, and it says run every day at 7:30 a.m. This is just a placeholder. This isn't what we want. So run doesn't mean like I'm going to go out for a jog. It means it's going to execute every time, every day at this specified time. So we want it to run actually at, we're not going to wake up so early. Let's wake up at 9 a.m. and start with our language quiz. And we can have it run more than once a day. We could also have it run at noon, and let's do 6 p.m. So you'll notice after we typed, it says block implementation is outdated, try regenerating. This just means that Magic Loops hasn't written the code yet until you hit this button. So after you type anything new here, you need to regenerate. So the code is rewritten according to what you've written here. Great. So now we can see loop scheduled to run at 6 p.m. on October 2nd, 9 a.m. on October 3rd, 12 p.m. on October 3rd, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you'll notice if you keep clicking see more, this will go on for eternity until you turn it off. Great. So now we know when our quiz is going to start. Now let's continue on by clicking this plus icon here to add another block. So we have all these other different types of blocks here. We want to do an LLM, a large language model such as ChatGPT or Claude. So let's go ahead and delete this here. We don't want to write a haiku. We want to create a, let's do a 5-question vocabulary quiz on, and here we're going to use our variable. So remember we wrote these variables here. So we're going to use this $ language in all caps. So remember, this is storing this value from up here, Spanish. So this doesn't mean language. In this scenario, it means Spanish. At a difficulty level of, and now once again, we're going to use this variable here, difficulty, which the value is beginner. So the computer reads this as beginner. And you'll see why we want to use these in a bit. So once again, block implementation is outdated. Try regenerating. Just click this button, and it's going to go ahead and write the code for us. Awesome. So, it looks like there was a little mistake here. Let's just generate again. Good. And it works fine now. So now we're going to have to go through and iterate a little bit. So this isn't the perfect quiz, because what is the Spanish word for sun? The answer sol is here. but we don't know what the answer is. It hasn't given us that. So we can add that here. Make sure to include the answer key at the bottom of the quiz. So after we add that, we can regenerate, and Magic Loops is going to go ahead and rewrite it. Awesome. And now we have our answer key down here. So you could go ahead and make this even more complex. You could say, make each quiz based on a certain topic. Choose a random topic based on the following. And we could do food, transportation, emotions, and electronics. Good. Regenerate and see if it's something closer to what we want. Awesome. So this time we have a quiz about transportation. Excellent. So let's go ahead and create another block here. The next block we want is to send us an email. So at the time trigger, which is 9 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. So let's just go for one here, 9 a.m. It's going to go ahead and trigger this here to write a quiz for us. Once it has written the quiz for us, it's going to send an email with this quiz here. So send an email with the loop results. And we can go ahead and copy this variable here, output variable. This variable is storing all of this output from our LLM. So all of this right here, topic, transportation, what is the Spanish word for car? A, tren, B, coche, etc. All of this is stored in this nice little variable here. So we don't have to go ahead and copy all of this. We can just go ahead, send an email with the LLM block output. All right. So we got this pop up again. So we have to regenerate. And voila. So we are finished with our daily language quiz, and we're going to go ahead and activate it. After we activate it, it's not going to actually send us an email immediately. We must click the run now to actually see it sent to us, because remember, it's sending it at these 3 times, which is not right now. So we can hit this run now. And you'll see that this time it created a quiz on emotions with our answer key. And I will get that in my email. Make sure you check your spam folder or junk folder to ensure that the Magic Loops email is on your list of safe emailers. So it doesn't go to your junk folder, it goes directly into your inbox so you don't miss those there. Let's go ahead and put the variables that we made at the beginning to good use. So remember, we have a language variable that stores Spanish and a difficulty variable that stores beginner. So to edit our manual loop, first we need to deactivate it. Once it's deactivated, we can go ahead and duplicate this loop, daily language quiz, and we're going to, instead of language quiz, we're going to say daily German quiz. We're going to duplicate the loop. So now we can easily create a German quiz by just changing this value to German, and perhaps we're better in German than we are in Spanish, and we can make this intermediate. Then we can go ahead and run it, and voila, we have our German quiz already finished at the difficulty level that we want. So that's all for how to create manual loops in Magic Loops. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.